Electric. We are talking about a bunch of stuff today. The main topic, of course, is what would you buy if you had won the lottery? If money wasn't an issue, which electric car would you buy? I also have a really cool YouTuber coming on to hang out with me for a few minutes. His name is Amit Short. If you haven't seen his channel, definitely check that out. Maybe we'll try bringing some of you guys in like we did last time. Make sure you have um, a good webcam and a good connection. I'll tell you how to figure that out maybe a little bit later. For now, let me know in the chat room where you guys are watching me from and which electric car you're driving right now. And we're going to also answer some questions. But of course, don't forget, you are the one answering that question first. What is your ultimate electric vehicle? And we're going to do this and we're going to start all of this right now. All right, welcome to some of the regulars that I already see are crowding the chat room. I think you guys started the conversation way before this started. Let me know if you want to come on split screen with me, like I did with a couple of awesome people last time, Nate and Eugene. Like I said, make sure that you have a good connection. So now, welcome to the Tuesday Hangout that's happening on Monday. I'll tell you right now why I can't do it tomorrow. Well, because I'm going to be on a plane. I'm going to be flying to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Never thought I would be visiting Tennessee, but got invited by Volkswagen, which they're one of my sponsors, but that actually has nothing to do with the sponsorship. They invited a bunch of media people and journalists to visit their factory. One, I don't know which hand I was going to count on it, but okay, well, let's use this one. Number two, looks like I'll be driving the all-wheel drive ID4, which I definitely think I will be the right person to do that because I drive my ID4 regular, just one single motor when I'm in Sacramento. I'm in Vegas right now, so I'm flying out tomorrow to Chattanooga, then coming back to Sacramento on Thursday. I'll be back in Vegas relatively soon. There's a bunch of conferences. I'll be here for SEMA. I'll be here for NAB. I'll be also in Los Angeles for the auto show and back here in Las Vegas for CES. I'm also going to be at Vid Summit, hanging out with that's kind of like a YouTuber convention. So it is going to be fun. So all right, I see a lot of people actually. You know what? Let me bring up this chat. I see a lot of people watching from all over. I gotta get one of those maps where I can pin everybody, like everyone's locations. So we kind of have a map of where people are watching me from. Why can't I do the live chat? I don't know why. So I'm gonna try one more time. But I see a lot of familiar faces. I think Xpong Fangirl was here a second ago. You already guys are giving me some answers. Let's see. Antonio says, let me see if I can project it. Well, I just lost his answer. Well, that's a shame. He was saying e-tron Sportback, which actually is a beautiful, beautiful car. Steven, oh, let's see. I see what I'm doing wrong. This is a new software that I'm using, and last time it was really, I mean, I'm really, really enjoying using the software, but let's see. Hey, Jay Ramirez in Xpong Fangirl says, sorry, I am back now. That's okay. Steven is watching from Maryland and says, Tesla Model Y. See, you're going to have to explain to me this. Why not the Model X? I mean, if we're talking about money is not an issue at all. So why not Model X? Isn't that a better car? Because, but I see a lot of people saying, hey, I want Model 3 over Model S or Model Y over Model X. You know what who we should ask is actually Emmett, who will come on in a second. Paulie B asks Chattanooga. Yeah, Chattanooga, that's just where the factory is. You know, that factory, it's not brand new. It's just they were making gas cars there. Now they converted it to making ID4s, the all electric vehicles. And guess what? Right now they're exporting cars from Germany. Like my car is made in Germany, but once they start making them here in the United States, it looks like they're gonna drop the price by another like $5,000. So if you thought this car was cheap now, I know I do. Imagine that minus $5,000. So that's really going to be a competitor. Olympia, Washington. William is watching us from uh, Washington. San Antonio. Jay Ramirez, as always, I knew that. Xpong Fangirl says a Model X breaks in half. It's a GTR crashes into. Um, Sometimes I don't know what you're talking about. I don't really. Someone's going to have to explain it to me. Um, let's see. Steven says, I have a Model Y. The Model X is not 30 to $40,000 more valuable in my eyes. Wow. Well, but don't forget, money is not. We make the rules for our own game here, right? So the game is this: you won a lottery, $5 billion. Okay, you're just like unlimited money. So it doesn't really matter how much it costs. What would you get if there were no price tags, right? Why would you get a Model Y over Model X, or maybe you wouldn't? That's the question. All right. Let's see. I see Emmett is waiting for me in a chat room, and but I think he's still turned around. All right, Emmett, let me know when you are ready, and we'll jump right in. People are watching from the UK. Well, there's an interesting choice right here. It says all aluminum Fiat X19, I guess. I've never actually heard of this one. Um, let's see. All right, if there's no price tag, says Chad, the Lightyear one. Well, it's not on the market yet, so you can't buy a prototype. But okay, granted, that car is definitely getting a lot of popularity. So it is not a bad choice. I've seen it in person. It is actually more beautiful in person than I think than in the pictures, at least for my taste. Um, let's see. Polly B says, "Hey Alex, what do you think of the Chinese electric cars, and do you think they will be competitive in North America?" I mean, you guys know that I have test drove the Xpeng Motors P7 and loved it. They have two other models, and I think the BYD Han, Neo. I mean, those are really excellent brands. Those cars are built actually quite well and priced even better. They're all in Norway now. You can actually order them if you're in Norway. That's where they're starting. I don't blame them. Hopefully, they'll expand to Europe. And I think that will be a good indication of how they do outside of China. I think they will do well. I think they will do great here in the United States because all of them have crossovers, one bigger, one smaller. So, and again, with the pricing, I know they're going to have to fight this whole, well, we're a Chinese car, but we're still actually very good. But I don't think. I think it will be fine. Me and Sandy Monroe has been talking about it, and well, there you go. Somebody's from Norway right there. Hello to you as well. Um, I think they're going to have to kind of fight that, but like Sandy Monroe said, that it's going to be very similar to sort of how Japanese cars made it to the market. All right, I don't see Emmett in my waiting room anymore, in my green room. Emmett, let me know if something's gone wrong, but let me text him and see if he's going to be ready in a few minutes. Um, but we'll see. Are you ready? Who else types with their voice, by the way, for their text messaging? Um, oh, I'll read one more comment and I see him back. Emmett, I'll bring you in just 1 second. Torbjorn says there was a lot of talk about how much cheaper the EVs would be when the battery price would fall under $100 per kilowatt hour, which happened faster than anticipated. The EVs never became that much cheaper. Why? I think, well, it's hard to tell because they will, the manufacturers will never tell us. But it's because it went into profits. And I think Tesla has been actually quite honest about the fact that their goal is not making their cars cheaper for you. The goal is to make profits and have the stock go up and, be a profitable company. So I think that would be the right answer if you ask me. You know what? Let's ask Emmett as I bring him in. Emmett, are you ready? Let's get into it. I am going to buzz you in.
I'm here. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you? I don't know if you could see me as well. Oh, you can. I,
I
I
can
have my
hear you.
video over here, so I didn't get it all set up perfectly, but I'm here.
No, it looks better than my feed, I tell you that much. So, uh, all right. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna throw you right in there. So we have somebody asking actually a very interesting question. So the question is, it's on the screen. It says, there was a lot of talk about, cheaper electric vehicles, and the battery pricing fell under $100 per kilowatt hour faster than people thought, but the cars are not getting cheaper, right? What's your answer to that?
Are they not? I mean, so it's been, I mean, the Model 3 is still, you can get it for like what, 36 or something at the bare bones?
No, I think that pretty much is at around 40 right now.
Really? Oh, for the
Yeah.
bare
I mean,
bones.
you definitely can get it. You cannot get it for 35 anymore.
Yeah. Why aren't the prices coming down? Well, I guess they haven't really integrated their battery technology, and I'm talking just specifically about Tesla, because probably the reason the others aren't coming down is because they're not doing the kind of volume that they need to. Their batteries are probably way more expensive, but why is Tesla not coming down? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why they're not offering that $35,000 anymore.
Well, I
That's
think
too
it's no
bad.
longer I mean, they realize that it's not as profitable. But I guess I'm going to twist it a little bit in a different direction. So, the electric cars have gone down in price. Like there was no ID4 Mustang Mach-E before and a few other models, but they're much cheaper than they would have been 3 years ago. They just didn't exist, right? I mean, like I mentioned, I'm going to Chattanooga where they're going to be making the ID4s at like $5,000 less than they are now, and even now they're at around $33,000 after incentives. So we're talking about like below $30,000. I mean, how much cheaper do you want a decent car like this be?
Yeah. Yeah, I think these things come in waves too. I mean, we had it down to 35, and then they kind of made things better. So they had to charge more. It was probably more expensive for a bit, but I mean, it's a little S curves. It's going down. Tesla's gonna come out with their, $25,000 cheapo car eventually, maybe next year. Battery prices are still coming down. Maybe it's because the cars are getting better instead of cheaper. Before they get cheaper, uh,
That's a
with
good take.
the
I'll
new
take that, right?
technology. It's
They
like
don't
they're
take
getting
that.
longer range and things like that, more faster. I don't know.
No, no, I
Maybe
think
not.
you're onto something for sure. I think they are
Yeah.
getting cheaper. But all right, well, so why don't you actually tell my audience what car you have right now, and then tell us if you had all the money in the world, which I'm sure you will, once your channel does even better than it does now. What would be your ultimate electric car that's either on the market right now or that's coming up in the next, let's say, year?
Okay, so I have Model 3. I got it. It's one of the production hell versions. So my girlfriend just bought a Model 3, and she'll be getting the 2021 with the auto trunk, which I'm very jealous about. She gets the
Wait,
auto trunk.
okay, I didn't
The
even know that wasn't even. Are you
Yeah,
talking about
my
yours is manual?
yeah, mine's manual. I had to put and it you have to lift it up too. So I actually put auto. I changed out the shot or the whatever they're called, the valve. What what lifts your trunk up? There's some struts. No, what are
I,
those?
I'm the wrong person to ask, but all right. The thing is that do that. Yes.
Yeah, I had to replace mine. So now when you pop my trunk, you have to like watch out because it'll take your head off. Uh, but
Okay.
will be push button. I'm jealous, and my panel gaps. I got some panel gaps. I got some wind noise, and I expect her car to be very silent.
Really,
But
you have high expectations at this point.
for the 2021, yeah, my parents they got a Model Y, and it was like 2020, and it's quieter interior than mine.
Well,
Um, and so I expect Chanty's to be that level. And let's see if I mean, I'm really waiting on this Cybertruck. But does this car have to exist? Can I invent my own? Does it have to be
no,
in
meaning
existence?
the car has to be scheduled to go to be delivered within a year, let's say. So I
Okay.
guess Cybertruck will be sort of in play. I mean, it's a year and a few.
Money is no object, though.
Right, money is no object.
Okay, well then I'm going Tesla Semi.
Okay, all right. Actually, I know some. I think Zach and Jesse actually have a from now have a reservation for a semi. But you know
Yeah, I
what?
don't want to start a trucking business. I would just like to have an autonomous sort of house.
Yeah.
I would deck that back out into a sweet little mobile home situation.
You know what?
And
That's not a bad idea at all. I actually never even thought about it. But okay, because listen, everything's in play, like Pininfarina and remots. Whether they're $2 million, and I don't think I actually shared mine yet. Um, by the way, I'm a little bit under the weather. That's why I'm talking through my nose. But like, I think at this point, I would take the Mercedes EQS, and maybe even that AMG edition that they just unveiled at the Munich Auto Show, whatever it's called nowadays, the former Frankfurt Auto Show. Like, between the looks
is that
and the
bubble
range,
looking one?
huh?
Is that the one that looks like a bubble, looks like a spaceship?
It's no, I think. Well, I don't. Depending on which one you're talking about. I mean, the final production version doesn't look like a spaceship. It
Oh,
just
okay.
looks
So
like
it's not just that concept. Okay, I got you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you might be either talking about the concept of EQS or the avatar, like the
It
avatar.
might have been
Like,
the Avatar one. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah. It
that's what
looks
I'm
like
looking
almost an animal turned into a car, right? Is that the one you're
Yeah.
talking about?
It looks like you could pop it with a needle.
Maybe that's the avatar, but no. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the production EQS. It's super luxury inside. It has a decent range, and it's relatively powerful. I love the whole dashboard that's a touch screen, and so that would be my choice.
I have to
Um,
look it up.
I'll catch up with all the comments from the audience, but for now, you know, let's talk about like how this year is going for
I see it.
us, the electric car fans, right? And for Tesla, specifically. Like, um, do you think where we're at, where you thought we would be with electric cars, if like 5 years
No.
ago?
Well, so I'm really stuck on this autonomy thing. I thought I was gonna get this beta for the full self-driving like last Christmas. Now
Yeah.
I'm just crossing my fingers that I'll get it in my Model 3 this Christmas. Even though he says, it's supposed to be wide rollout next month. I know this isn't just like electric car space. This is specifically autonomy space, but I think most of the autonomous cars are going to be electric. But I don't know. For me, sometimes they go hand in hand. I'm really wondering what's taken so long for. I know they got to get it right, and they don't want to have any missteps when they roll it out and people getting in accidents. So good to keep it small. But man, I really can't wait for that.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if they're like, the way they're testing it in, the beta tester program is essentially like the biggest fans and a lot of the YouTubers. That's why you see a lot of these videos. But I
I know
would,
I didn't make the cut. I was very upset about that. It's like that's why I bought the car, to be involved in this like process, and I've been excluded from this beta. I'm not happy about it.
you want to be part of the human trials. I
I
understand.
do. I want my life on the line.
Yeah, well, but if I was doing these trials, I actually would have given the car to like the biggest haters, right? Because no one's going to test the hell out of it and criticize it, because that's what you want, right? You want negative feedback, not like, oh my God, this is great. That doesn't do anything for you, right? When you're
Well,
developing
also,
something.
that's a good point. But also, I think they would get a lot of converts if they just gave it to the haters. These people would be like, "Well, wait a second, let me try this out. Wow, this is actually really cool." Like maybe
Right. That's the whole point, right?
yeah, they get a bunch of converts.
So, I mean, at this point, I mean, Elon has promised specifically this for years now. Literally just did a story where he recently said that maybe the $25,000 Tesla may not have the pedals and the steering wheel. And I literally found the footage of him saying exactly the same thing about the Model 3, I think 2 years ago. I mean, you
Okay.
should kind of be used to it's just about to happen, but not really.
Right.
What do you
Well,
think?
I think Elon's cried wolf so many times that until it happens, everybody's just gonna think he's full of it. But when you watch the progress and see all these videos online, with the FSD beta, you gotta think we're pretty close. Like after AI Day and how they're crunching the numbers, their supercomputer. I mean, these things are exponential, so we're close. But maybe it's going to be, even if it's 2025, that's still closer than most people think it's going to be.
Huh. What did you think of AI Day? I mean, I know it wasn't like the most like what do you call it? Entertaining maybe, but like what do you think about the robot, or at least possibility of Tesla having a robot?
Yeah, I think the robot thing was really interesting. I was predicting something else. I was predicting AR glasses, and I thought that was a wild prediction. But their FSD, all the stuff that they're building to create a new world, like all those the vector space that they create, that's like perfect for AR. So I thought that was a crazy thing, but they came out with the robot instead. And I think either one of them would have been a good tool to get people to work there, but probably the robot is a better draw because there's more ways that the AI aspect of things can be put to use in a robot rather than AR glasses. So it was probably a smart move on their part. The only thing I have an issue with is Elon saying that next year. This is crazy. Just
It is
creating
crazy.
just creating the hand alone. Like, how are you gonna? We got to develop skin that's sensitive. Like, I don't
Well,
even know
they
if they've.
they're
Just the
not
hand
creating a
is gonna
sex
take 5 years.
robot. You don't have to have a perfect skin there. That's it. That robot is just going to clean your house. But you're
No,
right.
but you want the robot not to be able to feel the things that it's picking up, so that it doesn't either crush them or that it knows that it's touching them. So I think that's what we use our skin for, right? Like there's a lot of sensors in there.
Yeah. Well, listen, I agree. I mean, there are companies out there that spend over a decade developing a robot that can kind of smile and say, "Hi, how are you?" and barely like keep balance. Though a couple of them are actually pretty good at, jumping around. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, let me ask you this: like, if there will be any other company that would literally bring up a prototype, which is essentially a Halloween costume, and say, "We're doing it, and we're doing it next year," even though everyone else is like, you know, been struggling for 10 years, like, what would be the reaction of investors and media be?
If some other company did it,
Yeah.
I think they think it would be horrible, and I think most companies are scared to do it, even though they see Elon crushing it by telling everyone we're going to Mars, or we're going to have autonomous cars, or we're going to have tunnels all over under every city, or we're going to merge our brains with computers just so we can keep up with them after the singularity. I mean, Elon uses this technique with all his companies, and people love it. And that may be the most innovative thing about all his companies, because nobody else is really hanging their hat on these grand images. And Elon is I think gets a lot of attention for that, and rightly so. And other people should take notice and start giving us this vision of the future that's exciting. And I think that will help their company gain investors and grow faster.
All right, before I let you go, let's answer a couple of questions. Here's an interesting one, actually quite interesting. Martin asks, why do we need robots when we have so many people? That's actually not a bad question.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want to do hard labor. So
That's true. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because there's a lot of us doesn't mean we should be put to work in the coal mines. Send the robots down there.
That is true. But at the same time, it does take a long time and a lot of money to develop these robots. So at some point, definitely at this point, the labor is probably still going to be cheaper for people than the robots. It's going to be a while until it's going to be cheaper to have a robot, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Even with like a vacuum cleaner, right? The whatever, the Roomba, the little one that just kind of hangs out on your floor and like cleans it. Like, I think those
Yeah.
are like $500. I can I can have my house be vacuumed for like probably a year if someone just comes in to vacuum once a month or so. So like, it takes a while for the cost to make sense, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. I don't know how long it's going to take for this Tesla bot to be even good enough to be worth anything.
that could be.
They say it's going to be cheap, but cheap enough. Why? Because it does what?
Well,
I mean, would you want one of those Boston Dynamics robots in your house? Like, what's it going to do? It's going to, I guess, do the dishes?
so I think that's the one that's jumping around, right? That one is actually
Yeah.
quite strong. So I mean, if for example, if I need movers, right, and yeah, like if I want somebody, obviously do the dishes or clean the house, like literally, I have somebody who cleans my house, comes in here, and I pay the money, and washing the dishes is not my most favorite job, and if I can, I would be saving some money, or at least I don't mind making a monthly payment on a robot. That's, let's say, $50,000. I'm making payments of $500-600. If it really is gonna, one, save me time, and I can use it to make more money, even if I was to Uber, and
Yeah, it's
two,
not going to like go in your drawers and steal shit.
no, that's what I think some people get girlfriends for. It's
Well, maybe this
okay.
robot will be equipped with some girlfriend parts as well.
That is, here's an interesting thing that, all jokes aside, but the thing is
Tesla does like to make sexy jokes.
they do like make sexy jokes. But if you think about it, a lot of technology that we use now, even what we're doing right now with a webcamming, essentially, that and credit card payments, it all came from the adult industry. They all pioneered it because they really needed it, right? They needed the dash cams and payments, and then we kind of adopted it. This could actually be one of those things that comes from the adult industry because those robots need to be really good to be worth a lot of money, which they do. And when I did the research on it, one of the most advanced robots right now are the ones that come from the adult industry. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. They're very disturbingly lifelike.
the disturbingly laugh like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they don't steal anything from your drawers or
No.
post uh, post the pictures on Instagram with in compromising positions. So there are more benefits to them than we might think. Um,
I personally, before I would get some robot to come in and like pick up my socks and do my dishes and stuff, I would want a smart enough robot to talk to on my computer to like do actual jobs for me, like in the digital world. I'd be like, "Hey, I need a new website. Can you design me like 3 versions based on these ones that I was looking at that I liked?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Let me whip those up," and it's like instantly done. And then you go, oh, I like number 2, and then just kind of hone it in. How much work would you get done, like as an editor, to be like, hey, can you take that footage from my camera and organize it the way I like, and take this best selects that you think are cool, and then I'll look at those. Like, I want a smart enough computer. I don't need it to have a physical body and walk around my house. I would like just the AI like in the cloud that I can talk to, like a Jarvis.
Yeah, I think actually those jobs of designing a website or editing may just not ever come. I think this is one of those things that has to be creative, and I don't think robots can ever really learn. Like, would you ever trust a robot to edit your footage the way you want it for your channel?
Wouldn't it be cool if it was smart enough to like look at all the things that I've edited in all my projects and be like and sort of understand the context of the videos? I mean, at that point, I mean, how is that harder than like understanding the context of the world and like going and interacting with people and clerks and I don't know.
I think everything that's creative, right? That's is the most difficult thing to do, right? The robots, like I don't think you'll ever be able to have a robot that's your girlfriend, right? Because that is such a creative sort of space that like I don't think robots will be able to take our jobs as YouTubers, right? It's a creative job.
No, but I think the job would become less that the AI is editing my footage and being creative and more that it's like doing all of the like take all the selects so it would understand, when I flub a word and did it take over, like did the whole line through this time, so we're going to take that one, and then it could give you a edit that is close to what it thinks you might want, and but instead of having to do that first cut, you rely on it, and then you're more, it's like with autopilot with a car. I'm still driving, but I'm more like the captain instead of the guy, holding the wheel. I'm kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, speaking of your channel, before I go, why don't you let everybody know what you do on your channel, and if you don't mind dropping a link to it once we're done, so people can check it out and subscribe. I watch it. I mean, I actually, you're one of the few other channels that actually mix humor into information, and that's how I think me and a lot of people like to consume information, and that's where I'm going with this channel as well lately. So let everybody know and how they can find you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Alex. It's been nice. My channel is just my name, Emmett Short. A lot of people probably think that my channel is called Knee of the Curve because I do a lot of episodes with that phrase. I have a show called Knee of the Curve on the channel, and then I do, and that show is kind of like the Daily Show for tech or Last Week Tonight for futurism. Uh, Lots of deep dives into tech issues, just mixed with like late night jokes and stuff like that. Um, but I also do a ton of random stuff, which is probably gets people upset at me because I then you'll see a Knee of the Curve, and then you'll have a vlog, and then you'll have a review, and I'm working on a editing tutorial right now. So people, if you like a channel that's always surprising you with the new styles and topics, you'll like my channel. If you're like, I just want to know what I'm going to get every time I go there, then you're not going to like my channel. But it's a lot of tech and comedy, and that's it. Yeah. Thanks for
It's
having me
the
on,
channel
Alex.
with the ADD. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why I watch. So, all right, man. Well, listen. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know you have better things to do on the Monday afternoon.
Just making
Um,
videos.
but I hope you can join us here. In a few weeks as we're just hanging out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, man. Take
Cool.
care.
See ya.
Bye. All right, guys, that was Emmett Short. He'll drop the link with his channel in the chat room. Definitely check it out. I mean, I love watching it just because it's funny, right? When you have some laughs while getting some good information, and he also actually has some really good points. And he's a Tesla owner who also is not like a fanboy. He has a sense of humor about Tesla and about his car. But all right, well, that was awesome. By the way, I know some of you wanted to jump on, and I'll take another chance and see if anybody wants to go split screen with me here. Don't forget, make sure your connection is good. One, make sure there's no like kids or whatever, because I prefer not to have anybody like under 18 here, just in case. Um, but here's how you check your connection. You go to, you Google a speed test. The first link you'll get, you'll click on it, will say go. First it will test for up, and then second number will be down. I know, first one's going to be down, second is going to be up. Your up has to be at least 3. If you're under 3, this is going to go very badly for both of us. So let me know. I will post the link right now in the chat room. So, and definitely you will be I mean, we're going to talk about, we do have a topic, just in case if you guys are joining us. The topic is, what's your ultimate electric vehicle if money is not an issue, right? Any car that's electric car that's on the market right now or coming on the market within a year. I will allow Cybertrucks since Emmett brought it up, but anything after that, that's too far ahead. Meanwhile, let me get into the chat and catch up. Here's a good question from Brad Jackson. Are robot girlfriends still going to ask us what we are thinking? They're probably going to know what we're thinking. That's the scary part, right? But I'm sure there will be a mute button too. And I'm sure the boyfriend robots will have the same feature. So I don't think it's just us that are they're gonna enjoy that. Um, Ahmed says, thanks for having me. Absolutely. And I'm hoping he's dropping a link with, oh, you can just click on his username in the chat, I believe, and I will get to his channel. So check out, especially his Model Y a review video that I thought was hilarious. Um, let's see, let's pick another random comment. I love robots, but they need to be built to help humans, not replace them. We live in a capitalist society. Which do you think is more likely? And that's actually a very interesting point. I mean, well, I guess they won't be replacing us fully. They will be replacing us in some tasks, right? And I think also, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but there are some jobs that as human race, we just have to concede to robots, right? I mean, even like driving is going to be one of those things that just robots will be doing better than us. So, taxi drivers, probably even truck drivers, that's a profession that will just have to move on to something that may be servicing or designing these trucks. I mean, I feel like there will always be jobs for humans. We just need to kind of step it up and be like one step ahead of robots. So robots will essentially be pushing us to do more creative and maybe even productive jobs. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm in no way a specialist on this, but I think that's how I would tackle this one. Um, let's catch up to a few other things. Um, all right. Here's another one. Göran says Kia EV6 GT. That's the ultimate car that you want to get. Don't forget, money is not enough. Like you can get the $2 million Pininfarina or remods. You can get a $200,000 Porsche Taycan. So just so you know, money is not an issue here. Pick anything you want. But EV6 GT is probably not a bad choice. Let me scroll up and see a few other comments. From Michael Hubbard, flying cars coming in the next 5 years? No. I mean, even self-driving cars are probably is a stretch, but flying cars, I mean, Xpeng Motors is actually testing one right now. And they're also going to be autonomous, and of course we want them to be, because I mean we barely can drive as humans, right? 40,000 people die in America in car crashes, and even more get injured. So we can't even do that. Once we're airborne, I think like that it's going to be ridiculous. So definitely they need to be autonomous from the very beginning. Like they should just never be like, hey, you want to have a little personal quadricopter or whatever, just learn how to fly, don't worry about it. Like I don't ever want to see that. I think once they're on the market, which I still think is going to be another 10 years or so, because don't forget, you got to clear up regulations and all that stuff. But 5 years, I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. All right, so just want to make sure we have our topic on the screen. Do we? No, we do not. There you go. Here it is. It's back. All right, let's see if there are any other. Well, here's an interesting comment. Buy UPS, FedEx, taxi, Uber drivers if the Tesla Droid comes to drive your gas truck delivery van soon. Fleet insurance could be less. Well, I think insurance will be less, and for cars, they might just not be insurance necessary at all. Though, I mean, obviously, like I don't know, natural disasters, and still, I'm sure there will be criminals in another 10 or 20 years that will be robbing cars from laptops that are left in there or purses. So there probably still need to be insurance for that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be much, much cheaper, because I expect once everyone's got the self-driving car, there will be no accidents. I mean, I just don't see how that's at all possible. All right, Martin Gill says Porsche. I'm assuming Taycan. That's the only one on the market, though. It looks like they're going to be coming out with a Macan, all electric as the next car. But Taycan has been doing so well for them. I am surprised. I, from the very beginning of this year, predicted that Taycan is going to outsell Model S, even if Model S wasn't delayed by so much. But at this point, it's still since inevitable. But at the same time, who would have thought that the Porsche Taycan, that is not as good in performance as Tesla in most performance stats, and yet costs almost twice as much, would sell so many more units than Tesla Model S itself. Like that is like it blows my mind, but at the same time, I feel like the last quarter of last year was an indication that that's coming. So not a bad choice, Martin. Let me know which color. Um, oh, here's another interesting comment. Uh, G Master says, "Don't forget about Toyota." Well, I haven't forgotten about Toyota. As a matter of fact, the video that I released yesterday was about Toyota. He continues, they can easily change the whole automotive game. I don't know if they can change the game. They can definitely make the game bigger, right? In Germany, we have a methanol fuel cell, could be a game changer. Oh, with a new technology. All right. Well, that's interesting because remember when Sandy Monroe was here a couple of months ago, he said that if he was the CEO of Toyota, he would actually develop the hydrogen fuel cell technology further, and he would use the technology from this company called Plasma Kinetics. And then I had an interview with them, with their founder, and that technology may just be better than if developed. You know how they see it being developed. That technology may just be better than battery powered electric car technology. But it's a long way to go. I mean, fuel cell cars and technology is really losing to batteries big time, especially for passenger cars. That still is up in the air in terms of industrial vehicles, from semi trucks to ships and planes and stuff like that. But for cars, I definitely think that the gap is so huge. Anything's possible, but I think Toyota, with their plan, they just unveiled a plan to make 2 million electric cars by 2030, which still is going to be about 20% of their fleet. And I agree with Tom Malogny, who was a guest. Check out that video once you're done here. That yeah, uh, that's still not a good enough goal. Toyota still is kind of behind in their vision, even, or understanding where the world is moving towards to, right? David says that he would get a Taycan in the station wagon version. What the hell is a Taycan? I forgot the name of it. But yeah, a lot of people love it. I don't personally get the whole shooting brake or whatever station wagon designs, but I guess it's a thing, especially in Europe. David says, David says Taycan Cross Turismo. That's right. I forgot. Um, let's see. Michael says Nissan is coming with a station wagon. Are they? I mean, I know they're coming up with Aria, which I can't wait. I mean, it's kind of I think it might be just the best kept secret that's out in the open, because Aria is going to have an amazing price, just like the ID4, and it's going to be a very decent car that looks great. And it's a Nissan, that company a lot of people trust. So I can't wait for that car. They have not said anything to us, neither to me or other journalists that I know, about even like checking it out. I mean, I've seen the prototype, but they've said nothing about possibly doing media drives or when the deliveries might be starting. So they're hush hush, but technically the deliveries should start before the end of the year, and that would be another really really big addition to the electric car sort of universe. All right, I'll hide that one. I didn't mean to click on that comment, but here it is anyway. I just don't have much to add for that one. If you're just joining us, don't forget to put in the chat room which electric car that's on the market today or going to be on the market in the next year is your ultimate electric vehicle if money wasn't an issue for you. If you can buy anything, which electric car would you buy? And also, you know what? I think I missed doing this, but in the beginning. But let me know where you guys are watching me from. I'm just kind of always curious from what parts of the world. All right, Jay Ramirez. By the way, welcome and thank you for hanging out with me. I think every time so far you've made every live stream that we've done. He asks, "What about Apple or Waymo or question mark?" Okay, so. See, their approach is very different than Tesla's, right? Tesla's approach is for the passenger cars and kind of rolling it out version by version and making improvements. I don't know about Apple, but like Waymo and Lyft and Uber, they are kind of going for all or nothing. Once they're going to roll out their actual service, it is going to have no driver and it will be able to do level 4 at the very least. They've already launched that in Phoenix, Arizona, and I think San Francisco. And that's what I'm going to try to check out, the Waymo in San Francisco. But I've seen some really awesome videos of people getting into this Waymo van, and then no driver, just a little monitor that greets you, and you can see how it sees the world, and it just drives you to wherever you want to go within a certain limits, right? Within a certain city limits. That's the limitation, right? Um, and that's where that approach may be a little flawed. I mean, they can still put it into reality, but you always have to have 3D maps out there. It kind of has to have an outside help where, Tesla self-driving technology relies pretty much on nothing except for, maps and stuff like that. So that, you know but listen, I'm rooting for all of these companies, right? And Waymo and others, they will essentially be providing us with moving Lyft and Uber pods, and that we won't really own. As a matter of fact, there's a question whether or not we will even have an opportunity or to own our own pods, self-driving pods, or it will just all be services like, taxi pods. I see a first super chat of the day of the live stream. It comes from Joe Quinn Castro. I'm probably messing up your name. I'm sorry. I am horrible with names and spelling, so you're gonna have to forgive me. But thank you so much for $5 super chat. As you guys know, I'm gonna, as always, every day pretty much go to Chipotle, have my daily meal. I did cheat on Chipotle yesterday. I have to say, I found this crepes place down the street from me, and I'm gluten free. But I'm from Europe, so I love crepes, and this place actually makes gluten free crepes. But yesterday, and I think the picture is still on my Instagram, E for Electric. I'm E for Electric everywhere. Where I come to that place with a friend of mine yesterday, and they have this like almost monster truck with their logo and everything parked in front of that crepes place. And like, and I'm like, well, wait, is this a delivery car for you guys? Like, how many crepes do you deliver? They're like, no, this is just our owner's car. And I'm like, wow, that is the opposite of what I thought an owner of a crepes place drive. I thought an owner of a crepes place would drive, I don't know, a Mini or Volkswagen Bug or something like that, not the monster truck. It's, you know, uh, I put a picture of it. It's actually quite funny. So I did cheat on Chipotle, but these $5 are going towards Chipotle today. And so he asks your opinion on Marquez Brownlee's video on long distance travel in EVs versus ICE. You think the bad user experience that Electrify America network will slow EV adoption? So I haven't watched that video because people told me so many things about it. I'm almost like, I need to restock on my high blood pressure medication because I know I'm just not a big fan of his, because I don't follow tech YouTubers that much, except for the like people who are my friends, like Wade of Tech Daily, for example, who also lives here in Las Vegas. And I every time he talks Marquez Brownlee about electric cars, you just can see that his opinion is just not based on, like, he's not an extremely knowledgeable person about it. And obviously he picked a favorite, which is Tesla, which I don't, that's fine. um, but like, for example, his report on the F-150 Lightning, right? He basically said that, oh, look at the estimator, and with 1,000 pounds, and there was another thing that he says that um, how this car can still go 400 plus miles without the load, um, which really tells me he doesn't really understand how drag efficiency works and other things. Um, with Electrify America, look, they're not perfect, right? Electrify America, I have not had horrible experiences with them. Um, I had a couple of weird, I would say borderline bad experiences, but at the same time, I called the number on the actual charger and they helped me out. Um, it is definitely getting better, and they are aware of their problems, so that's kind of important. Um, but I feel like, let me put it this way: if you're a Tesla fanboy, like he is, um, and you make a video about something that's not Tesla or Tesla competition, when you point things out, and you don't point the same things out on the Tesla side, I guess I don't know why I would even watch that. Like Zach and Jesse just did a video about ID4. Listen, I could have told you they were going to hate it, and they found creative ways how to hate it. Like, for example, I think it was Jesse who said, "Oh, this gesture controls." Obviously, I knew they were going to pick on stuff that Tesla doesn't have, which is gesture controls. I use gesture controls in my ID4. It's great. You go between screens, you kind of, swipe the air. And he's like, "Well, what is it going to, you can just do it accidentally when you're talking with your hands. I like talking to my hands." And I go like, I've never heard of that happening. And I run my own ID4 owners group, and I know all of the complaints. Trust me, there are a few things that need to be fixed about the ID4, but this wasn't one of them. And I got back into my ID4 that day, and I'm like, okay, well, let me talk with my hands. And you guys know I talk with my hands a lot, so I can definitely reproduce that. And as I did it, I was like, it's nowhere near the screen. And the screen is very particular how you have to put a hand like right next to it, in front of it, and kind of go really in parallel of the surface of the screen. If you're talking about it like this with your hands and the screen to the side, you will not make that motion really. So I knew that was kind of BS way to pick on ID4. And that's fine, but they consistently, obviously, and so does Marquez Brownlee ignore all of the issues that Tesla has. So do I really want to watch that video? I really don't. It's going to be yet another Tesla fanboy view on how everything else sucks, right? But with that said, Electrify America really does have a lot of work to do. I personally just have not had too many bad experiences. I'll tell you about my bad experience with Electrify America. It was when I got my ID4 and I signed up with the app for Electrify America. ID4 owners get 3 years of unlimited charging for free. And I plugged it in and I wanted to charge, and it wouldn't charge, and it would give me an error, like a charger error on my phone. So I called Electrify America. I said, "There's something wrong with your charger. I already plugged in a couple of them, same error." And it took them a few minutes to realize that the error is BS. There is no error. There is no problem with the charger. The problem was that I didn't put my credit card on file, because I was like, well, why would I do that? It's free. Well, they're saying that, hey, there are still idle fees. You're not immune to those. So if you're gonna, get some idle fees, we need to have your credit card ahead of time, which is fair. But instead of telling me that something's wrong with the charger, I would have preferred if they would have told me, hey, don't forget to put your credit card number, because that's what's preventing you from charging. Now, I think it's outrageous that they haven't thought of this, and it's a simple user interface correction. So I hope someone's getting fired there at some point over just this. But overall, I just have not gone to a station that didn't exist, or I couldn't charge, or couldn't charge fast enough. So my personal experience has actually not been that bad. But I can't talk about this video specifically because I just hasn't watched it. I know it was a really long answer that I gave you, but don't get me started on that guy. I know he's a very, 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 very popular YouTuber, and maybe that's what the problem might be, right? Because the details he's dropping is something that most people wouldn't even notice, because they, generally people don't know all these things about electric cars and Tesla. And so he gets away with it because no one's going to really check him. I mean, me posting a comment on his video saying, yeah, you know what, this is actually BS, or this is not how, range works in electric cars, not going to do anything. And I've heard other people consistently point out that his facts sometimes are not all the way there, especially when it comes to electric cars. I don't know how he is with tech and phones and stuff like that. I have no comment on that. But as far as his coverage of electric cars, like, for example, when he did the Model S Plaid review, I thought he dropped a lot of important things that are definitely wrong with it. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna leave it at that. How's that? But thank you for the super chat. It definitely will go towards my Chipotle today. Well, that's a lot of comments you guys left since I started talking about it. All right. Another person who is Chad is also going to pick Porsche Taycan Turbo S for his Ultimate EV. Dave Villa says, I'm not a Tesla fanboy, but I must say I have never had a problem using their charging network. That is true. That charging network is almost flawless. But don't forget That charging network is for one car, Tesla. Electrify America has to work with many cars, many more common, many different payment methods and stuff like that, where Tesla just has to live in its own universe, and that's why it works every time, right? So, and also don't forget, Electrify America is had to use like 4 different vendors to build the network as fast as they did. They're building their locations faster than Tesla is, just because they need to catch up, right? So they had to use like 4 different vendors, and a couple of them didn't really work out because at that time, none of them were really vetted. They haven't been in business long enough. So there were some understandable problems where Tesla didn't have to rely on anybody. Um, Dave continues, I can't say that for the other third-party chargers I have used. Totally agree with you. Electrify America still has a lot of work to be done, but I personally don't really have problems traveling in my ID4. Haven't had so far. And every time, like, Tom Malogny, the weekly contributor and just probably one of the best electrical journalists who's on this channel weekly, he does this all the time. He tests cars with Electrify America all the time. And as much as he agrees with you, Dave, that it's not as smooth as Tesla's supercharger network, it has been improved. Every 6 months, it's gotten better and better and better. So I think that would be the best answer I can give you. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting over a cold. All right, let's see. By the way, if you're joining us just now, we're talking about the most ultimate electric vehicle that you would pick if you had all the money in the world and like you won a lottery or whatever. So put that in the comment section. Definitely let me know where you're watching me from. That's always fun. And I know we're having our Tuesday live stream on Monday. I actually see more people watching, so maybe I should leave it alone. I'm going to post a poll about that in my community tab. But right now, let me know, what do you think, Monday or Tuesday for live streams? Meanwhile, I'll pick up another comment from Brian. It says, Alex, wouldn't it be better if all manufacturers got together and created a better standard, so no matter what the chargers, it talks and connects without issues? Yes, it would be better if all of them got together, but that's not how universe works. I mean, they have kind of agreed on CCS at this point, right? Even the new Nissan Ariya is not going to be using the CHAdeMO anymore. It's going to be using the CCS standard, which means CHAdeMO is essentially dead. So they have agreed. As a matter of fact, Tesla is using CCS in Europe. Now, wouldn't it be nice if Tesla would agree to do the same here? I guess they will pretty soon, because they want to open it up to other manufacturers. Not for the reasons because they're nice, but because they're going to be getting a lot of money from the upcoming infrastructure bill from our government. But doesn't matter. So they will have to have CCS plugs, and that has the plug and charge technology, right? Where just like Tesla, you plug it in. I think Mustang Mach-E and Porsche Taycan already have that, where you just plug it into Electrify America, and you don't have to put anything, any numbers. It works exactly the same as Tesla. It knows who you are and what your credit card number, and it charges you if you have to be charged. We're getting there. But yeah, that would be nice, but it's not always realistic, right? All right. ER says, how about a $30,000 hatchback with 200-mile range? I don't need an SUV. Well, I think you have a $22,000 hatchback. Well, with 100, yeah. Okay, you know what? If you get the next year's Nissan Leaf, or even this year's Nissan Leaf, that has 225 EPA rated miles, after the incentives, it will come down under 30,000, and it is a hatchback. Boom! I solved your problem. So you're welcome. You got yourself one. Let's see. This one's from David McCarthy. Charging companies resisting common payments, so we must give our info they can sell on the back end for more revenue. David, I don't always like the accusations, right? Without evidence. I mean, they're not resisting common payments. They all have to come together and want it and then agree on it, which is very, very difficult. That is much more likely scenario that it's just difficult to work with everybody while everyone's got their own issues and goals. I get accused of something similar all the time. Of course, you love ID4. Volkswagen is your sponsor. Well, now I bought my ID4 first, and then they sponsor my channel. Like context, right? Context, and I don't think this is at all the case. Um, Mr. Faster says, I thought the i3 was a hatchback. No, yeah, it is a hatchback. Um, I don't even know how much it costs. I mean, they discontinued it anyway, thank God. As you guys know, I am a huge hater of the i3. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Jay Ramirez says, can we contribute to your wellness fund? Well, I'm almost over this. My nose is still, and maybe some of the allergies or whatever. I have my cough drop. I used to have way more here, but I thought I would be okay. But maybe it's this is my Vegas studio. I'm in Vegas. It's hot. It's cold. It's mainly hot. But I think I'll be okay by the next live stream. But thank you. You can contribute to any fund you want. The super chat is right there. I think it's a $ in the chat. So I appreciate those. And of course, I take the super chat comments above everybody else, just to be fair. Let's see. Yes, Renault Zoe Martin is also a hatchback, but that's only sold in Europe. Actually, very well. They're selling it really, really well. Let's see. Okay, some of the comments I just don't understand, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. By the way, if you're joining me, this is our Tuesday stream on Monday, because I am going to travel to Chattanooga tomorrow. I will literally be on the plane flying to. I have to go through Atlanta. There is no direct flights to Chattanooga from Sacramento or Vegas, where I'm at right now. I'm not looking for that trip. I'm not looking forward. I'm looking forward to visiting the factory and all that stuff, but I'm not looking forward to an actual trip. Connection, losing 3 hours because it's East Coast, and you guys, I don't know how many of you know, but I usually go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get up at 11 a.m. just because I like to work at night, because I can concentrate. And a lot of times I do business with Germany and European brands and Chinese brands, and it's an opportunity for me to have a live conversation with them while I'm still awake. I also like to go out. That's kind of partially the reason I partially moved to Las Vegas. So I'm a real night owl. So for me to travel to East Coast and then have to get up at like early in the morning, which is really the beginning of my sleep, that's going to be, and I'm an old man now, so it's not as easy. But I'll do it. I'll do it. Let's see. Brian Richards says, I want a small car with good range. Love the Peugeot 208e with a 50 kilowatt hour battery. Need better range. Must look good. Not Leaf or Zoe. Now, I think the latest Leaf actually looks pretty decent. But, if you want a cheap car, you're probably going to sacrifice the looks or the range, right? Or both. For now, right? Martin Gill says, hello from London. Hello, I missed London. I was there one time, 3 years ago. Loved it. Would love to come back. Thanks for your channel. It's the only one I watch the most for EV news. Thank you, Martin, for watching. I know I've seen you in my chat and in my comment section a lot. So thank you so much for being a dedicated viewer and a follower. I really appreciate it. That's kind of the reasons I'm doing these live chats. As you can see, I don't even have a sponsor for these live chats, because I just really, really like hanging out with you guys. So thank you so much. I see another super chat. Oh, I couldn't catch it. There you go. There it is from Antonio Samuel. Thank you so much. $5 super chat. No message. I think the message I'm assuming, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but here's another $5 for your Chipotle meal, Alex. So I will absolutely take it. I do have to say that I do also have a gift card from Tom. Tom Malogny gave me a really nice surprise gift for my birthday, which I don't celebrate. I just don't tell people, including my friends, when my birthday is because I don't celebrate it. And have been, since I have stopped telling people when my birthday actual date is, pretty much all of my friends, except for like a couple of my really old friends from like 30 years ago, obviously my parents and my dentist, besides those people, nobody knows where my birthday is. So, but he knew it was in July, and in August he sent me this nice gift card to, for Chipotle, which I've been using. But thank you so much, Antonio, for a $5 super chat. I appreciate it, and thank you for your support, because this is how I make a living. This is my full-time job. Um, though really two jobs. I usually spend about 60 hours a week, and I really don't have days off. By the way, not complaining. I'm just saying this is how much I love it. Um, let's see. There's another comment. Um, Robert says, just gotta say, I love your channel. I'm new to electric. I'm new to electric. I have a Mach E. Whoa, you're not that new to electric. You got a Mach E. Congratulations, my friend. And I just love it. I don't think I've met so far a person who doesn't love their Mach E. My other car is a 700 horsepower Mustang GT. All right, so you have the old and the new. How do you like it? Compare them a little bit. It'll be actually interesting to see if you have a webcam, maybe you can jump on. I can give you the link, and maybe we can split screen it. Let me know if you're interested, and I will send you the link. Oh, two more super chats. First one from Cake Batter. I like the username. Made me hungry already. Um, it says add some queso. I would. Good point. I will probably add some guacamole, but queso is a little too spicy for me. My mouth just can't take spicy. That's the way I'm born. But thank you. I will transfer that request to guacamole. Um, Here's another super chat. Now there you guys are just showering me with cash. Uh, from David McCarthy, it says EVgo, etc., could demand station builders support car payment. Even vending machines can take a card swipe or touchless payment. Enjoy dinner. Thank you, David, once again for supporting my channel. So I haven't used EVgo in a long time. And what I did is would be like with a media card that also comes with a card that's prepaid card. So I don't know if they take payments, but I know Electrify America absolutely does take payments. You can go and pay with your credit cards. As a matter of fact, isn't there a law or a regulation in America or in California now that it has to take payment? I think by 2022 or 2023. I think that will be fixed with regulations, if not on its own. But see, I thought EVgo already also was able to accept payments. I could be wrong, but I'll check it out. So, but thank you, David, so much for another super chat. I really appreciate it. All right, let me take one more question, or because honestly, my nose is now killing me. I think it's because my throat is working overtime. Um, Here's an interesting one. Roger says, cheaper than chips or rice or Mexican food. Uh, okay, I get your point. That is true. But maybe I don't even look at Chipotle as Mexican food. I just look at it as awesome, very affordable, but very healthy food. I'm gluten free. I like the fact that it's GMO free. And I love it the most because I'm a big animal lover. I donate to PETA. I volunteer for local animal shelters when I can, and they only do business. Chipotle only does business with farms that treat animals humanely. As a matter of fact, one time, I think it was like 3 years ago, I walked into Chipotle and they're like, we don't have any more pork. And it's going to be like this for a week or two because we broke our relationship with the supplier of pork because we found out that they weren't treating their animals to our standard. And even though we're going to be losing money on not selling the pork, we're going to find another supplier that treats animal well, and we're cutting all ties with that other supplier. And I thought that was awesome, right? So that's one of many reasons why I love Chipotle. Plus, the bowl and a drink, like together is like $10 or $11 together. I mean, you cannot get that value anywhere else, I think, anymore. Let's see. Stay healthy, bro. Says Sep Coleman. Thank you so much. I'm not even like sick. I was sick for the last few days, but it's just my nose is still kind of like, running. Um, Emmanuel. Emmanuel says Mexican food is probably the best food out there. I don't know about that. I think like food is like a music, right? It's for different times of your life and different parts of your day and different moods, right? Like right now, I'm definitely in the mood for Chipotle, but later on, it would be something different, maybe barbecue, so or sushi. Actually, you know what? That's what I should do because I haven't had sushi, and this is the only place I think in America right now where you can do the all you can eat sushi, which is still I usually lose money, but still just the thought of like I can have everything right here and pay nothing more than this price and the like 3 dishes in of like, oh man, I'm losing money. Um, all right, guys, my nose is just killing me right now. So I'm gonna stop. I wanna say thank you to all of you for hanging out with me. Let me know before we go. Let me know in the chat. I want to know if you guys think that I should do this on Mondays or go back to Tuesdays because I can see that there's higher viewership by a little bit, maybe 10% today. Um, but Tuesdays are just better for me. And I think for a lot of people, because I feel Mondays are maybe busier because people are trying to catch up after the weekend. Um, uh, Kurakar says, I suggest Chipotle sponsor your channel. I really wish they would. It's hard to reach out to brands like that because they have this agency that handle this. They only want to deal with really, really big advertisers, and it's usually a rough one for me. Okay, Rick says a Monday for the show doesn't matter from it's been repaired. That's a cute username. Someone says Sunday, says Red Edwards. Well, on Sunday I release my news video, so 2 videos on one day is going to be a little bit too much. And I think a lot of people who watch me, I think watch from their like offices during their workday. They're not going to interrupt their family time to watch some dude talking about electric cars, right? Cyberdong, by the way, welcome back. I've seen you in the stream a couple of weeks ago. Tuesday is better. More Tuesdays. Either day, okay. All right. And then let's see. Emmanuel says if Tuesday works better for you than Tuesday. All right. Looks like it is Tuesday. So I'll be back to Sacramento by then. I will be traveling a lot, actually. I'll be going to NAP here in Las Vegas, Los Angeles Auto Show, the CES in Las Vegas, SEMA in Las Vegas, and VID Summit in Los Angeles. So these are just a few trips that have already been planned. So I'll be all over the place. I'll still try to keep it to Tuesdays because I can just do it from my laptop. I love the setup. It's just tomorrow is just literally going to be on the plane flying. So, all right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. Once again, don't forget to join me next Tuesday. Now that we know at 1 p.m., I'll schedule it pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to handle a longer stream just because, and my nose won't be running all over the place. Sorry about that. I did actually. I was feeling all good until my throat started to really work really hard over time. Thank you to Emmett Short who joined me as a guest. I will try to have at least one guest every time. None of you were brave enough to do the split screen with me, though that was fun a week before, but I'll bring in some other YouTubers and influencers here just to hang out with us. Hopefully Tom will jump in once in a while. That's always fun. All right, guys. Thanks so much for the super chats, for the comments. I hope to see you all next time. Looking forward to all of the comments that are going to be put in here afterwards. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. And remember to stay charged.